listening to the NFL Draft Bible Podcast Network, part of Sports Illustrated, giving you daily NFL Draft, Dynasty, and Devy Fantasy Football podcasts.
Class is in session. Welcome into the draft seminar presented by Sports Illustrated's NFL Draft Bible Podcast Network. I'm your host, Matt Hicks, the FF Educator, joined as always by my co-host, John Lobb, the Gridiron Scholar. And on this episode, we're breaking down Amon Ra St. Brown, the wide receiver out of the University of Southern California.
Matt, very quietly, the Trojans have been producing NFL talent at the wide receiver position. Over the last 6 years, Nelson Aguilar, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Michael Pittman have all been first or second round draft picks. And this year, we have another. Amon Ra St. Brown. I have a second level grade on this young man, and I think he has a very nice NFL future ahead. And I can't wait until we talk about Drake London in the Devy series over the summer, Matt. So USC is quietly recruiting and getting nice, productive NFL wideouts. After 3 seasons in Los Angeles, the Trojans' gifted receiver pursues a professional career. And I've had Amon Ra St. Brown for the last 3 years on one of my favorite college dynasty teams. In high school, he was a 5-star recruit. 2017 USA Today All USA First Team and Prep Star Dream Team. And if you don't know, he is the son of John Brown, who won 2 Mr. Universe and 3 Mr. World titles in the 1980s. He's also the younger brother of Equanimeous St. Brown, who went to Notre Dame. And unfortunately, we saw Equanimeous drop that incredible 2-point conversion in the NFC Championship game. But Amon Ra St. Brown, I have a higher grade on him than his brother coming out of Notre Dame. I believe Amon Ra is a much better prospect. And as a true freshman in 2018, he started 5 games and appeared in all 12. He led the team with 60 receptions for 750 yards and 3 touchdowns. So you had a young man at a very early age come onto the national scene. He won the Pac-12 Freshman Player of the Year and the USC's John McKay Award. In 2019, he exploded. All Pac-12 honorable mention and USC's Trojan Way Leadership Award. He exceeded 1,000 yards receiving, or with 1,042 on 77 passes for 6 touchdowns. He also exceeded 100 yards in 4 games. Last year, he was good. First team all Pac-12. He only had 41 receptions for 478 yards and 7 touchdowns. Remember, the Pac-12 only played 6 games, folks. And Matt, I'm sure you watched this like me. Against Washington State. In the first quarter, Amon Ra St. Brown had 4 catches, and all of them were for touchdowns. Keaton Slovis had himself quite a day that day also. So there is tremendous ceiling with Amon Ra St. Brown. Matt, what does your film study tell us about the young man from USC?
John, it starts with his athleticism. He's a fluid athlete. He's got loose hips. He's got great, quick lateral movements, and his vertical ability is really fantastic. He's listed at 6'1". He'll go up and get the ball like he's playing at 6'4". You have to love the athleticism. I give that an 86. He's got great yard after catch ability, John. He's really comfortable running with the ball in his hands after the catch. He's got great field vision. He closes space really quickly, and he keeps his body, despite being a really athletic fluid player, he keeps his body under control very well. I give him an 85 there. Now, he has good speed, and he's not exactly going to speed up the quickest, but I love his long speed. He accelerates well downfield, and he's got nice quickness in short space. Give him an 83 there. And I like his route running ability a lot, John. He sells routes well with good footwork and good body movements. He's physical. He holds his ground well. He fights through contact, stays on course on his routes, and he separates well from defenders, especially with some nice, subtle, but aggressive handwork. He's comfortable in the flat. He's comfortable playing along the sidelines, and he's comfortable catching the ball over the middle of the field. Give him an 82 in route running. Overall, John, I think we're looking at a future weekly starter in fantasy football. But why don't we go ahead and flip on the tape and take a deeper look?
I'm looking forward to this, my friend.
All right, and as always, the tape's provided by Brandon Lejeune, Devy Deep Dive on YouTube and Twitter. And right off the bat there, we're going to see his good handwork, his ability to go up and get the ball here over this UCLA defender. And you could see right off the bat, we're seeing some catches along the sidelines, but also his ability to work over the middle of the field.
Oh, look at that. He's able to transition quickly to the run game and escape some tacklers.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
He's got great fluidity to his game. He's breaking guys in open space here, and he's kind of doing it in a subtle but really effective way.
You know, subtle is the perfect word. He doesn't stand out like you're not like wowed by any, but if you put the total package together, it is so much greater of a prospect than any one aspect of his game.
And we could see here on this end around against Colorado, they give him the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and he looks like he has better field vision than some of the running prospects that we've broken down.
Absolutely. Look at him go deep here. Oh,
look at that catch. That one-handed extension there. He pulls out. He shows not only his length, but his ability to track that ball through the end of it.
Yeah, and you mentioned speed. Matt, he has football speed. I'm not sure what his 40 would be. It's not going to light it up and blow you away. But you know what? You see him, he wins on the field.
You could see his ability to create space downfield with long speed and acceleration. It's often not something we appreciate, John, but it is something that gets you production at the next level, especially deep touchdowns, which we love for fantasy purposes.
Oh, that was a nice catch in between two defenders right there. The ball was dropped in the bucket. That was a nice catch.
Absolutely, John. Break down the production profile for us.
Oh, Matt, it likes it. There is one red flag, the 12.8 yards per reception. I would like it to be 15. However, he was a young breakout star. And in general, when you watch the tape and you watch USC football, he's not the young man who's going deep. We saw him go deep, but they had Drake London. They had Michael Pittman. The way the offense was structured, Amon Ra St. Brown did a lot of the dirty work underneath, the short crossing patterns. But 178 career receptions, that's nice. For 2,270 yards, 17 touchdowns. And Matt, this year, 2020, 69% catch rate, 25% team aerial dominator. I really like this young man. I don't think he's getting talked about enough in the Dynasty community. I'm very excited to land him in the second round of a Dynasty draft. He's going to have a very nice career ahead of him. I understand the ceiling. He's not the alpha male who's going to go out and get A.J. Green or Calvin Johnson numbers. I get it. But I have him ranked as a better prospect than Nelson Aguilar. I do think he's a better prospect than Michael Pittman was last year coming out. He's not as good of a prospect as Juju Smith-Schuster. But I'll take him between Nelson Aguilar and Juju Smith-Schuster as a second-round Dynasty asset. And why I feel so good with a high floor, when you watch the tape, he's employed all over the field. You can play him at the X. I don't think he's a classic X, but if you put him out there for a series or two, he can do it. He's 6'1", 195. He's a real problem in the slot. If you watch USC, they'll put him in the slot and put him inside. And you could have put him at the Z. Amon Ra St. Brown is a really nice, well-rounded prospect who can do a lot of things. I don't think people are giving his hands and body control enough credit, and his alpha male personality. Matt, we haven't talked about it. When you watch him at USC, he has that swagger and anger. Amon Ra St. Brown believes he's great, and he plays like it. He has that personality. I love him as a second-round pick in Dynasty football drafts.
All right, there you have it. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Draft Seminar presented by Sports Illustrated's NFL Draft Bible Podcast Network. You could put down those notes. This episode is over. Please make sure to subscribe to the show and give this episode a like.